So the solution is beam search, which we have mentioned in previous slide. And the core idea behind beam search is, rather than generating just one word, we can generate k number of candidate words, and they are called hypotheses. So let's say k hypothesis, and in practice the value of k is around 5 to 10 that they empirically found out. So what you need to do, and how to simplify this formula in form of an example. So let's say we have generated W1 and we get the probability for W1, and then we next word we have generated W3 and W4. So let's say the beam size is 2, then every time we need to generate 2 probabilities. So let's say here also we had generated some W7. So from this, let's say this is we have generated, and then we'll have generated W8 and W9. So what we'll do for W1 and W3, the cumulative probability will be probability of W1 given X, and then plus probability of W3 given W1 and X. Similarly for other. So we'll have to add the probability in a path, and we'll be seeing it will be more clear with one of the illustrative example. And then once we calculate this whole path where we, let's say, generated the n token from here, and let's say we have generated the n token from here also, maybe we have generated the n token from here, then we need to select a particular path which is having the optimal probability value, or maybe we sum them up and get the maximum probability value. So it will be more clear. And one thing to note is that with beam search, it's not guaranteed to have an optimal solution. So why it is the case, we'll be discussing later. But it is more efficient than exhaustive search, where we are generating all possible values. So we'll be considering all the words which were there in the vocab. So here is the example I was talking about, so which I have taken from Abigail C. So let's say we start with this start token, and next what we do, we need to calculate the probability distribution for the next word. And provided that beam size is k2, and we need to calculate the probability for the next word. So for the next word, let's say, and the case the beam size is k, beam size k is equal to 2. So every time we'll generate only 2 possible options or possible hypotheses. So let's say we generated he and I, and when we calculated the probability with the formula which we have already seen, that it will be probability of he given the start word, probability of I given the start word, and let's say it comes out to be 0.9 minus 0. It's a negative log likelihood, so minus 0.9 and minus 0.7. So this will be selected at it is better than the minus 0.9, so this will be selected. So next time what we'll do, we'll have to find the again beam size is cool, so we need to find 2 most probable words now from the vocab. So let's say it generated hit and struck from he, and was and got from I. So the probability for hit will be probability of hit given start and he, and then the cumulative probability that we need to calculate here, this kind of a score, will be also added the previous probability of he. So plus minus 0.7, so it comes out to be minus 1.7. Similarly for struck, we have probability for he already here, and then we calculate the probability of struck given start and he. So the overall cumulative probability comes out to be minus 2.9. And similarly, for in I case, the probability was calculated for was and got. So now what we can see that the probability of hit is the maximum. So probability of hit is the maximum. So we will select the, and we need to select only two, right? So we selected hit and was only. So 1.7 and minus 1.6. So these are top two words, or top two probable words. So we just explore them and we prune struck and got. So we don't explore them. So we'll explore only hit and was. So now after hit, we generated again two probable words from the vocab, and in case of was also we generated two probable words from the vocab. So let's say they are A and me in case of hit, and hit and struck in case of was. And we apply the same formula, we add the previous cumulative probability and we get the new probability here, and we see that the top two probabilities are point negative minus 2.8 and minus 2.5. So we'll be select only A and me, we'll prune hit and struck, so we won't explore them. So these are selected and we explore A and me. Now we need to calculate the same thing again, and let's say we got minus 4.0, minus 3.4, minus 3.3 and minus 3.5. So we already see top two probabilities or top two words will be minus 3.3 and minus 3.4. So pi and width will be selected, and then we prune the rest of them. We explore the selected candidates. So we selected pi and width, and let's say in next iteration we got in and width for pi and for a and 1 for width, and we calculate the probability in very similar fashion. We got probability as minus 4.8, minus 4.5, minus 3.7 and minus 4.3. So the lowest or maybe in numbers, the highest probability is minus 3.7 and then minus 4.3. So we got these two selected, and we can prune them. We can explore the A and 1, and let's say at the end we got pi and tart selected, and pi and tart for both the cases, and the probabilities what we got is minus 4.3 in this case, minus 4.6 in this case, and minus 5.3 in this case, and minus 5 in this case. So both of these probabilities will be selected. So both of these probability will be selected, and then we have to explore, and let's say we end it here. Ideally what should we do? We need to explore these both, and then we need to wait for, we need to get we need to see whether it generates the end token here or end token here. So we'll explore that, and we need to prune them. So at the end, one of the thread or one of the path will generate the end token. So if we see the path, if we backtrack and find the most probable word, so from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, and then going back to here, and then to start, we see that this is a right translation for the underlying French word, a French sentence. So he hit me with a pie. So the problem here, what is the problem here, that where to end? So maybe this will go on and on. So if the correct translation for that word was he hit me with a pie, but let's say when we explored this, it generated again a new word, let's say apple. Then that's a problem, because it's not the translation, it's not a right translation. So where to end, it's the problem in beam search. And we can see some of the solutions or approaches to solve it. So one of the approaches, what we do, in case of greedy decoding, what we do, once the end token is generated, we stop. so we don't generate further. And in case of beam search, what we can do, we can have multiple options. So one of the option is, and the thing is, in this particular, in this previous diagram what we had seen, we have different paths, and let's say this was pruned, and it generated again 2, and this was pruned, it generated again 2, and this is pruned. So in this case, what I am trying to depict here, that n token can be generated here, n token can also be generated here. Some of the paths might generate n token after so many iterations, and in some of the paths it might be generated pretty early. So what do we do about these n tokens if we are having multiple n tokens? So we can have one, once a hypothesis produces an n token, then that hypothesis is complete, so we need to take it aside. So we need to store it, that hypothesis, and then when we place it aside, we keep exploring rest of the network, rest of the beams or candidate values or candidate hypothesis. So once we explore all the hypotheses, then we can see which one is giving us the max probability value, what we had seen in the previous formula. So another approach is, when we reach a particular time step, then we can end it. So rather than waiting for all the hypothesis, all the paths to generate the n token, we can say that I want to just generate till 25 steps or iterations. So I'll go till 25, even if some paths generates the n token super well, otherwise I will stop the processing after 25th of the iteration. And another solution could be, if n number of hypotheses are complete means they generated the n token, we can complete it. So let's say in this example, this path hasn't generated any n token as of now, and it keeps going, but these two paths have generated n token, and let's say number n is 2 for me. I have decided that it should be 2. So whenever the system will encounter, or it will be stumbled upon 2 n tokens, then my system will cease the further processing. So I will have, till this point, I will cease everything, and then I will see which path is having the most probability, when in sense of cumulative probability. So the problem which is super intuitive here, what is the problem here, that you can see, let's say in this path it generated the n token here, but we have this path which is having 1, 2, 3, 4 step, and in this we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's say it generates the n token after some iteration here. So it has 6 steps. So obviously when we'll add those cumulative probabilities, the shorter paths will be having more probability, and the longer paths will be having less probability. So model is biased towards generating shorter sentences. So when you will apply this decoding scheme, you will generate sentences, or maybe in case of summarization, the summary will be super small, or in case of stories also, stories will be super small. So that's the problem.